Welcome to the late night edition of the JAHN EAMIQ show. We talking about teachers tonight, y'all. My experiences, my kids' experiences, what's in the news, what you expect. They don't get paid. Now to sleep. I pray the Lord, my soul is a king. If I should die before I wake. I pray the Lord, my soul is We're back with the JAHN EAMIQ show. Oh yeah, this is gonna be a good one tonight. Out here in California, finally the fall has arrived. I've been complaining about those fires and that hot summer heat, man, but the fall finally got here and I'm happy. My favorite time of the year. It's a cool, clear 68 degrees tonight in Sacramento, California. And we got some rain on the way. On this weekend, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, a whole bunch of rain, much needed rain. I don't know, man. I just feel energized when the rain hits me, man. When it rains outside, I have to go out and just let it hit me, man. You know how some people say they gotta walk barefooted in the grass to get that energy? I like to get hit with that rain to get my energy, man. I don't know. I just feel refreshed and we don't have enough of it. But anyway, we talking about teachers, man. It's a controversial subject. Now, I want to start by saying I know we need them. And I think they should be paid more than they get paid. I think if they got paid more than they got paid, they would be better, man. The ones that I came across, at least. They would care more and just be better, you know. Just put they all into their job. But people want to underpay them. The government want to underpay them, man. So, you know, what do you expect? It still don't make no excuses for all the, you know, racism I done dealt with in multiple generations. You know, my grandparents dealt with that, Jim Crow. I dealt with some racism back in the 90s. My kids dealt with some racism when I dealt with their teachers. Let's start with me. I don't want to go too far back. So in high school, this was the biggest issue I remember in my life dealing with a teacher. Actually, it was a counselor, but I put him in the same category. So this punk-ass, bald-headed white counselor gonna tell me, you know, when I was a senior and getting ready for college, that I didn't need math because, you know, he don't expect me to go to college. I'm sitting here getting recruited by junior colleges and everything, but this punk-ass biatch want to tell me I don't need college. So that's what kind of shit we dealt with in the 90s. Luckily for the people I was surrounded by, the boys club and, you know, people in the church and everything, father figures, you know, kept me on that path to go to college. And, you know, they prepared me. Basically, my community prepared me, but the teachers or the counselors didn't prepare me. So my mom made sure I was surrounded by good people. Now let me go to my kids' example. They many issues. I'm gonna start with back in kindergarten for one of my kids. Basically, the teachers there was so racist, man. They had him in the corner. When we got there, they had him in a corner under the table, shaking and shit when we got there. What happened was basically they claimed that he attacked another kid or something. They just said something, but you know they're not going to believe our side. They're automatically going to believe everybody else. We're the last people on the totem pole, black-wise, that the teachers are going to believe. So we always got those phone calls. I know you did too. And I know you got a good kid. Some kids, don't get me wrong, it's some kids that be bad as hell. But all races have kids, a percentage of kids that are bad. but they don't believe all races. They don't believe black races, basically. They believe everybody else. Let me tell you about another incident, too. And this incident involves a black principal. So one of my kids was in kindergarten. It seems like most of the stuff happens in kindergarten and preschool and all that. But another kid was in kindergarten, and a little punk ass white little dude with a mohawk. His name was Kane. He was kicking and beating on kids and shit. So he called himself kicking my daughter in the ribs. You know we don't play when it comes to our kids. We don't care if it's another kid fucking with our kids. We're trying to go fuck something up. So that shit kept happening, and the punk ass teacher wasn't doing nothing about it. Now, granted, the teacher had a tragedy in her family. I think she lost her son in a car accident or something like that. But I mean, I feel bad for her, but she still should have stopped this kid from kicking my kid in the ribs and hurting other kids. She should have just took some time off. You know what I mean? Her mind wasn't right, and I understand that. Anybody lose a kid, their mind ain't gonna be right. So she just stayed around and let our kids get whooped on by this little dude Kane. So what I did was I did the smart thing. I always been smart, especially when I was older. So what I did was, I complained to the principal, black principal at that. That was the fucked up part. The black principal didn't give a damn. Sorry ass principal, man. How you gonna let a black kid get beat up by a white kid every day and not do anything, not care about it? So what I did was I just documented everything. I can't touch the little white kid. And so I ain't gonna go up to school, act a fool and nothing like that. I ain't that type of dude. I ain't a 2/3. So I did the smart thing. I just documented everything for about a few good weeks. I documented everything, dated everything, and just gathered all my proof. And I ain't talking about a lawsuit or nothing. I'm talking about what I did was once I gathered about a good 6-7 weeks worth of proof, 6-7 incidents worth of proof, I contacted the school board and I emailed. I was in school at this time, so I used my school emailed everybody on the school board, sent them the proof, a copy of the proof and all the dates of the incidences, and then that's when something got done. So something happened to your kids, you just got to do what white folks do or somebody else would do. You know what I'm saying? Get smart and do what they would do. And that's what I did, and it worked. That shit got handled quick. My kid got moved to a different classroom. The principal was mad. Dumbass principal gonna say, we could have just talked. Bitch, I tried to talk to you. And you ignored me, ignored everything I said until the school board got involved. How you like them apples, bitch? Now, I know most of my audience is kind of older, I'm guessing. So I know y'all didn't have that Common Core bullshit while you was in school. We had common sense education. Now they got Common Core. And the common sense education, we used to have those 1 + 1 = 2, basically. 2 + 2 = 4. You know what I'm saying? That's the common sense from back in the day. But now, 1 + 1 can equal anything. It depends on the situation. It just gets all clouded and just confusing. I still don't get it. People can't even help their kids with their homework no more because of the Common Core shit. You can't understand it. It doesn't make sense. With the common sense from back in the day and everything before Common Core, you can look up the answer on the internet. Can't do that no more. Shit's confusing. You look up the Common Core shit, you don't even understand what they talking about. I totally don't get it, and I don't want to talk about it no more because it's just a boring ass subject. But anyway, once you get your kids through High school, then you good. Cause they don't got that Common Core shit in college. College, then you get back to the common sense. So I don't know. Is it designed to fuck up black kids and brown kids? I don't know, man. It all seemed like a trap. Because basically, black kids, they parents can't afford private school. They job ain't finna pay them enough for them to go to private school. So black kids, our kids are stuck with private school. They stuck with Common Core. So it's basically a trap to me. Cause we ain't finna get that loan so we can do our business and blow up from a you know, entrepreneurship. You need a loan for that. You know we don't come from money and we ain't getting a loan. At the job, you're not getting that management position. So, you're not getting hired at them high paying jobs. Just look at the average, how much the black man make versus everybody else. We on the bottom, man. So we can't afford private school. I'm not lying, man. Check it out. I looked up the average income among races. And this was from 2020. So basically, the Asians, they average about $99,000 per household. The white, non-Hispanic, basically the white people average about 77,000. Hispanics, 56,000 a year, and the black 46,000 a year. What the hell are you gonna do making $46,000 a year, man? How many kids you got in the house making $46,000 a year? That's crazy, man. That's poverty right there. But look how lower we are than everybody else. That's wild, and that's proof that we the real Hebrews. Only the real Hebrews will get done like that. So all we gotta do, man, we just gotta pray, man, and get our kids through high school. And then once they're in college, then it'll be a lot easier. That's a shame that college is easier than Common Core. And the reason why probably that Common Core is just taught horribly is because the national average teacher salary. That's probably a big reason. For example, in the US, teacher pay has declined over the past decade. I'm reading the article. Teachers earn 11% more than the average salary. Just 11% more than somebody that work at McDonald's, somebody that work at Burger King. If you just put everybody together, they only make 11% more, than the average person. And the national average is 65,000 a year. So that tells you, which you can't be surprised. Okay, you're not paying me. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? The teachers basically are nothing like back in the day. Nothing like back in the day. I mean, none of my kids never said they had a favorite teacher. Remember back in the day? You used to have a favorite teacher. You used to have a lot of favorite teachers. You can remember them now, remember their name and everything. But all my kids remember is just bad incidences, like getting kicked in the ribs or getting ran up under a table until your parent come pick you up. That's all they remember, man. Let's pay these teachers more, man, so they can care a little bit more. You're still not gonna get rid of that racism, but it'll get a little better if you pay them more. They'll take more pride in their work. Cause how can they have pride in their work, man, if they only making 10, 11% more than somebody working at McDonald's? And then also the teachers are in debt, man. They had to go to school to become a teacher. See, we already talked about in one of my other episodes how much school costs: 100,000, 70, 80, 90,000 for a 4-year degree to be a teacher, for example. Hell, the average teacher debt is about 105,000. So they got 105,000 in student loans, only making about 60,000 a year. And then they don't work for the summer time. They off a few months. They ain't getting paid around that time. This shit's all fucked up, man. They do got a teacher loan forgiveness program. If you teach full time for 5 complete and consecutive years in a low income school or a service agency, and you meet other qualifications, do a couple other things, you may be eligible for forgiveness up to a whopping $17,000 on your direct subsidized or unsubsidized loans. So you owe $105,000, but they'll take off $17,000. Come on, man. We got to do better than that. And the last thing I'm gonna say about the teachers' finances is that about half of them are in debt. So chew on that for a minute. Now I want to take this opportunity to play you this new joint, fresh off the presses. It's titled "Send It All Away." Send it all away. Send it all away. Send it all away. Send it all away. Send it away. Send it all away. Send it all away. Send it all away. Yahweh, send it away. Send them haters away. I don't want no negativity in my life no more. I just want to survive. I'm just trying to stay alive in these cold streets. Yahweh, please watch over me. I ask you, Lord, to send it all away from me. Protect me, Lord, from those 2/3 that run the streets. I'm trying to be circumspect like I'm supposed to be. I'm always tested by those 2/3 that run them streets. Send it all away. Send it all away. Send it all away. Send it all away. Send it away. Send it all away. Send it all away. Send it all away. Yeah. Send it all away. I know I'm not perfect in my life. Can you please forgive me, Lord? Help me grow stronger in you. Yeah. Please protect my house. Please protect my family from these demons all surrounding me. Thank you for the strength that you've given me. Thank you for the strength that you've given me. Send it all away. Send it all away. Send it all away. Send it all away. Send it away. Send it all away. Send it all away. Send it all away. Yahweh, send it away. Yahweh, please send all the haters and the negativity and the negative vibes away.
We're back with the JAHN EAMIQ Show.
Let me run another one for you. Check him out.
The JAHN EAMIQ Show.
Man, not only teachers ain't getting taken care of the proper way, they getting shot. It's a story I'm looking at on the internet where it says a high school staff member shot after breaking up a fight. Let me let you check this out.
Now at 6, an investigation is underway after a Vallejo high school coach was shot while trying to break up a fight right outside a school. Thank you for joining us for Crown 4 News at 6. I'm Pam Moore.
And I'm Ken Wayne. Officials say the coach is now recovering at a hospital. The shooting happened yesterday afternoon just before 4 o'clock.
Crown 4's Hazik Madyun talked with a parent who describes the scary moments when she was trying to pick up her son from school.
Wait, hold on. Let me stop this. Ain't it crazy how all these news people sound like clones? They got a class in college where you learn how to talk like that, I guess, man. I mean, they sound like straight clones, but let me get back to this story.
This concerned parent is describing what her son experienced when shots were fired during a fight between students and who police are calling unknown males Tuesday at around 3:40 p.m. on campus in Vallejo. This parent, whom asked not to reveal her identity, says she learned about the shooting on social media.
I just was looking on Facebook and I seen somebody say, pray for somebody. They just got shot at Vallejo High. So what I did was like just jump in my car and I just drove straight there. My son wasn't answering the phone. I kept calling, wasn't answering. I had to get out the car, try to find him. I couldn't find him. Nobody knew where he was.
Nobody knew where he was because you was on Facebook. You ain't paying attention. Well, let me continue, though.
It was so many police, everything taped off, everything. We had to reroute around the building, and it was like a mess.
Vallejo Unified School District officials say a staff member was shot and suffered a non-life-threatening injury trying to break up the fight.
It don't get no more hood than that. You mean to tell me some kids was fighting, and then the teacher tried to break it up, and then the kid pulled out a gun? They don't got no metal detectors like in that movie Lean on Me and shit? That's hood, man. At least get these teachers metal detectors.
Here's Vallejo City Council member Hakeem Brown.
My heart goes out to the teacher who was shot, and I think our whole community and is really praying for him and his family.
Wait, let me stop this. This nigga, he sound like he hella far away, nigga. He ain't around that violence. The council member, nigga, he's safe, tucked away in his basement and shit, tucked away in his house, and got the teachers out there on the front lines. But let me continue.
And also, the kids involved, because those kids are hurting right now. They're traumatized by this.
What we did is we brought in extra site security to come in today. And we also had some extra administrators on campus today just to make sure everything went well this morning.
So now you want to bring in extra people, metal detectors, security guards, and the stuff you need. First, you got to let a teacher get shot. Man.
And then we partnered with the police department and they did some extra patrolling. They came by a couple of times during the day, but they had a larger presence in the morning and at the time that everybody was dismissed.
Vallejo police investigators say that the shots were fired from a dark-colored sedan. The motive for the shooting is still being investigated by police. Anyone with information about this incident is asked to contact Vallejo police.
So I guess they did a drive-by. I mean, I'm confused. I thought the way they made it sound, man, it was like the two kids was whatever playing, or not even playing because they was in high school, but they was just around doing something. And then I guess they got in an argument, got in a fight. Maybe it was at practice because they said I think it was a coach that got shot. Maybe they was at practice or near practice. And they got to scuffling. And I thought one of them just pulled out a gun, but they talking about they got to scuffling and somebody did a drive-by. That don't make no sense, man. But anyway, let's move on. So my point for playing that is not only do you want to underpay the teachers, but you don't want to keep them safe. And then we wonder why they don't care. Most of them don't care. The ones in the hood need to be paid the most because their life on the line. And the ones in the hood, ugh. I pray for you guys, man. I also want to mention the teachers don't feel safe. There have been a lot of school shootings and shit. Like basically this article says 29 school shootings this year. that resulted in injuries or death across the nation. 121 shootings since 2018. So, as you can imagine, the teachers are just quitting and doing other things. They better take care of them, man, because we got to have somebody teach these kids. I'm glad my kids are damn near all out of school. But damn, what the next generation gonna do? I guess you can home teach. That's the best thing to do. If you do that, then do it. If you're able to do that, do it. Some states allow it, some states don't. I guess you just got to get creative. And on that note, man, let me play another song and then we're going to come back with the recap. Be right back. Yeah, man. I'm a little tired tonight. You know what I'm saying? Just been doing a lot. But I gotta get them done. Gotta crank them out. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, man, yeah. We talked about teachers tonight. We talked about, it ain't nothing new, the racism in schools. From the Jim Crow era to the 90s to now. That ain't nothing new. My grandparents went through it. I went through it. My kids went through it. But we all gonna make it. We all made it at some point. And the future generations are gonna make it at some point. Yeah, and my kids had a lot of bad experiences like yours, I'm sure, did. Because, nobody gonna listen to the black kids. They're just automatically wrong, automatically guilty, unless it's a black teacher. But then again, in the incident I dealt with in the past, the principal, the boss of the school was black. She didn't do nothing. She was a lawyer. I guess she was just all about her money or something. She was definitely a 2/3 from what I remember. Shit, kids shooting teachers now. They take it to another level now. I don't never remember hearing about that back in the day. They shooting teachers. Whew. That Common Core, we talked about that. That's trash. But all you got to do with that, just get through high school. Pass, graduate, go to summer school, do what you got to do. Because they don't got that Common Core in college. You don't have to worry about that. They back to the regular common sense in the college that I went to, for at least. Man. And they need to pay teachers more too. If you expect them to do more, pay them more. Because a lot of them are leaving the profession. I've been reading a lot about that, especially after that COVID-19 hit and they was sitting at home. You telling me, okay, you a teacher, in all these years, they've been, doing you dirty, underpaying you, shooting you in some cases. And then the COVID-19 hit. Then you sitting at home for 2 years. Then they start liking their job again. I'm sure. Teaching from home, you don't have to be in person with the kids. They should have just kept that like that. Why are they making people go back? You know what I'm saying? If you go back, you're going to get infected. You got a better chance of getting infected if you're making them go back to school. Plus, wear and tear on their cars. You saving them money on their cars by letting them stay home. You saving money on gas by letting them stay home. I mean, gas is like $5 a gallon where I'm at. $6 in some places. In LA and all that down in, Southern Cali. $6 and some change for a gallon. It seems like they just can't catch a break, man. Let them teachers stay home. Pay them more. And I feel like things would be a little bit better across the board. It'll always be racism, but it'd be a little bit better across the board. On that note, man, I'm out of here. And don't forget to check out the website, blessedchannel.com. On that website, I got all my podcasts, the whole collection. If you enjoyed this or any other ones, you're going to really enjoy the whole collection. I got some films, you know what I'm saying? Some music. Check me out. Yeah. JAHN EAMIQ, and I'm gone. Until next time, peace.